So what I'd like to do with you tonight is a series of guided imagery exercises from simple to more complicated. And I want to start with imagery for just basic, everyday panic. You know, the kind of feelings you get either, well, I don't know, how many of you have not had a panic attack? Raise your hand. Well, good for you. But there's the rest of us here. So very simple imagery for panic, a more complicated imagery for sort of removing yourself from a stressful situation, then some imagery that's even more high-test than that, and then I'd like to give you some immune cell imagery, which, by the way, can't hurt anybody, whether they're struggling with cancer or not. So, what am I talking about when I'm talking about guided imagery? I like to think of it as a kind of deliberate, directed daydreaming, a focused, targeted reverie, where you imagine something with all of your senses, not just visual. A lot of people call this visualization, and it's very misleading. Only 50 to 55% of the population is strongly wired for visual memory or imagination. You don't need to be visual to do this. You use all of your senses. You imagine what something feels like, sounds like, tastes like, smells like, and what emotions are connected with it. All of that is guided imagery, and anybody can do this. Although there are certainly some people who are more connected to it immediately than others. And because it's a kind of deliberate, directed daydreaming, it's very effective in getting you in what we call an immersive state, a reverie state, a hypnotic state. That hypnotic state, that trance state, is very important for making this work. I can't tell you how many studies show that when somebody is in a sort of an altered state, that's just very focused attention to the extent that other things, tangential things, are just not noticed anymore. In that state, we are capable of much greater, more profound healing, growth, learning, change. And because in this immersive, altered state, what we're doing is running images with all of our senses, senses being the language that the body understands. Because we're running these images through our sensory mechanism in this altered state, it has a huge power to it. So that's what we're going to do tonight. Interestingly enough, imagery is much more effective in a group than one-on-one or by yourself. And it's perfect that you're kind of squeezed together in this room, because literally the closer you are to each other, the better you'll have as an experience. So that's guided imagery.